Hey, you're listening to Bit Harmony, a video game music podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Seth.
Today we're talking about Indie Darling. Can we call it an Indie Darling yet? I feel like it's an Indie Darling.
Let's do it.
Today we're talking about Indie Darling, Pepper Grinder. Before we get into that, we're going to play you Chill Winds.
They go together like peanut butter and bananas.
Oh, banana.
Legs and feet. A debilitating existential crisis.
Diminished sense of reality, huh?
And reruns of The Office at 3 a.m.
Depression? Isn't that just a fancy word for feeling bummed out?
It's the Bit Harmony Boys, bringing you even more video game music than you can shake a Deku stick at. Right now.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like that
a lot. Welcome back to Bit Harmony. And yes, we're going to talk about that intro real quick. But just wanted to make sure we make sure that we get our ducks in a row first. But yeah, go ahead. Praise me as much as you can with these stupid intros.
I'm ready to accept your praise. No, it's very good. I had not listened to that whole thing. Like you'd sent it to me so that I could load it up on our soundboard, but I hadn't actually listened to the whole thing because I didn't want to spoil myself. I wanted to save myself for the recording. For some reason, why didn't we think of like the Bit Harmony Boys right away? Why did it take us this long?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. That does make a lot of sense. I wrote the script for that. I'll go over the process real quick. I wrote the script for that at like 5 a.m. I was really tired. So I guess this is a slight spoiler. I wrote a whole bunch of scripts. We've got enough of these to last a little while. I still have to edit them. So my plan is every week is going to be a different one of those. Obviously we don't have enough to last forever, but at some point we'll just start cycling back through and it'll be so long. It's an every other week podcast. You won't remember all the crazy stupid things I had my friend Boog say into a microphone. But yeah, I wrote all these scripts. Like I was real tired. And then I sent them over to my friend Garrett Bugay. We mentioned him last week on the podcast. He went to school for radio stuff, and he also is. I don't say he's licensed. That's not true. I don't think anyone can be licensed to do voiceover stuff. He took like some kind of extra class outside of college for voiceover stuff. Specifically, he does a lot of like radio announcery stuff. So I always like to hear him say polysyllabic words with like the radio announcer voice. So yeah, that's what you're going to be in for every week. So if you hate that, I don't know what to tell you. I guess skip past it.
You'll be all right. It's like 5 seconds or something. It'll be okay. My favorite part was when he was like, they go together like legs and feet. Mm-hmm. That was my favorite part. It's pretty good.
I really liked when I send these things. This is not the first time I've had Boogs do this to anyone who knows me well. This is not our first rodeo with these stupid radio stingers. I really liked the way he said "Bit Harmony Boys." It's the Bit Harmony Boys. Like it's very like 1940s, like
I like it too.
Buy your war bonds and stuff kind of thing. Yeah, when I send these to Boogs, he sends back like a 25-minute like just take after take after take of all these different things I'm asking. So I had quite a few options to choose from. I'll also say for how silly and short that is, that takes hours to put that together. So
I bet.
I really hope you all enjoy it.
I love it. Personally, I love it. So if you're doing it for nobody else, know that you're doing it for my sick enjoyment. It's very good.
Slightly different structure this week, I guess, but I shouldn't say this week, this episode, I guess. Before we get into the general housekeeping, do we want to talk about Chill Winds, the song we heard before we derailed ourselves with the Boogs, the Boogs thing.
The Boogs talk, the dedicated Boogs segment. Yeah, what a song. What a cool song. Isn't that the, like the map song from the Snow, like World 3 map song, effectively? Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. I like, it's got that kind of like ethereal synth, sort of like wind flute coming in. It feels really like serene, right? But it's also got that kind of like drum and bass going. It reminds me of like a Halo song.
Oh, okay. I could hear that.
I'm waiting for like Enya vocals to come in.
Enya was a big thing I was thinking of. The notes I wrote down is that I don't think this actually exists, but if it did, it makes me think of like a Legends of the Hidden Temple like CD-ROM game from like 1996, or man. I don't know, like you're browsing the internet 30 years ago and you stumble onto some like weird person's website about witches, and like a MIDI version of this is embedded on the page. Also reminds me of like Save the Rainforest videos or something from the 90s.
That's a good pull. Yeah, totally.
Did we save the rainforest? Because I don't think we did it, but I never hear about the rainforest anymore.
The rainforest seems okay. Like nobody's talking about it anymore, so like maybe it's at least stable. I
just assume whenever humanity is involved with like keeping nature preserved that we're going to do a horrible job at it. But if anyone has any updates on the rainforest, send in a voicemail.
Please. I'm worried about the rainforest. I wasn't worried about it before today, but now I am. I also will say too that I always like it when something that could be considered like I don't want to say a throwaway track, but like just a looping track that is just on the map screen that most people aren't going to be on for very long. Like still goes hard. I think the one that everybody thinks of is like the GoldenEye pause music.
Right.
Like he didn't have to go that hard, but he did it for us kind of thing. I always like that. Like when just something that most people are not going to notice or engage with for very long is still a very like good and well considered and full song, Yeah,
no, I know what you mean. I also like the world map. All 4 of the world map themes in this game are great. One of the songs that got cut was the World 2 map theme. Maybe I'll have that playing beneath us for a little bit when I edit this. But yeah, all the world map themes in this game are great. Hey, turns out this whole soundtrack, pretty great.
It's really good. Yeah, it really is. I mean, I know we're going to talk about it a lot today, but it really is. It's probably my front runner for best OST of 2024 thus far. It's really good.
Yeah, so. I'd have to think about it. Probably nothing is going to top Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for me at this fair. Point. Yeah. But yeah, otherwise, this probably is right there.
Yeah. Really, really good stuff. Well, we're going to talk plenty about it. Do we want to do a little bit of housekeeping and voicemails and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, you got some reviews, right?
Yeah, we have some new reviews to shout out. First of all, we had some good response to the last episode on Anodyne 2, which was a lot of fun. I think the thing that was really nice for both of us was that Melos, who's the composer of that game, he actually, not only did he share it on Twitter and stuff, which was very kind, but he also shared it within the Analgesic Discord, which was unexpected, just very kind and nice. And he shared it and he said, quote, "Quite nice podcast" on Anodyne 2 / It's Music. So that was nice.
Yeah, I don't know Melos that well, but to me that feels like a big compliment coming from Melos. Just quite nice. I like that a lot.
I think so. I've interviewed him and Marina on All N, and I've had a little bit of back and forth. We with some regularity sort of keep in touch or whatever. And he strikes me as he is either a man of very few words or a man of a lot of words. There's no in between,
right?
And so just the simple little gesture of hey, I'm going to go out of my way to share this episode with both my Twitter audience and within the Analgesic Discord and say that it is quite nice. It feels like high praise, and that was cool.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Thanks,
Melos.
That was quite nice on Melos's part. So we're trading back and forth now. Yeah, no, I sincerely, I genuinely, that warmed my heart in a way I wasn't expecting to when I saw that, or when you sent me the screenshot of it.
It was nice to I bet he actually did listen to the episode, So hopefully he enjoyed it. Well, we also have, first of all, we're up to 9 5-star ratings on Spotify. So huge thanks to everybody who listens on Spotify and rates the show there. We appreciate you. Keep it up. That always helps the show's visibility and everything. And we also have got several both written and unwritten iTunes reviews. I want to shout out some of the written reviews here from British iTunes. Our friend Sparky chimes in with a 5-star review. Sparky, of course, a treasured All-In community member who says, "A must listen. What do you get if you team up two giants of the video game industry, both with a passion for video games from across the ages? This amazing show. I can't wait to see where this journey takes us all. It's going to be some ride, Sparky." We're giants, man, of the video game industry.
Yeah, my wife says that too when she's trying to tell me to stop eating pizza. It's just, but I appreciate being called a giant in a different context.
Yeah, for sure. We also have got a review from apparently Matt's mom, which I thought was really good and sweet. And I wish I could get my mom to leave me reviews on my podcasts. She, I'm sure, has no idea how to do that, but maybe I can convince my mom someday. Matt's mom says, relaxing. Relaxing is the best way I can describe this podcast. Loved being able to relax and learn something new at the same time. You both were wonderful and shared a wealth of knowledge. Aw, it's very kind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
Very nice.
Thanks, Sparky, beloved community member Sparky, beloved mother, my mother.
Yeah. I got one more. One more for you.
Okay, let's go.
This is from Gojo J, who says, aquatic ambience. Thing I love most is that they play the music and it just feels like a video game lounge room, listening and talking about music from video games. Hopefully they do a David Weiss episode in the future. Fingers crossed. So thank you to Gojo J. I'm sure that is going to happen one day.
I'm going to go ahead and say that we will not do a David Weiss episode. We're probably going to do several David Weiss episodes.
Probably. Yeah, that's probably true. So, yeah. Thanks, everybody, for your kind words and just the support of the show in general thus far. It's been really nice.
I know, and yes, thank you, everyone. That it is, again, almost overwhelming to me, the positive response that we've had to this. I was not expecting this level of it. Again, not that I was expecting a negative response, but just not the level of positivity that we've received so far. Do we? I know we were unsure about it. We never really finished our discussion. Do we want to talk about the female listenership numbers? I'm kind of into it.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, we were looking at we were kind of just talking in general. Like Matt was like, I don't want to know the numbers. I don't want to. You don't need to tell me the numbers. I'd rather keep it sort of out of sight, out of mind. Maybe one day I'll want to know the numbers. But I was like, well, I don't necessarily care about the numbers either, but it's always interesting to see some of the stats, like the little breakdowns of like where's your podcast being listened to. By the way, I should say there's a big thunderclap outside my window. Just there is storming in my neck of the woods right now, so I should say there's probably going to be some stormy ambience in my and also my dog is here in my office, so hopefully she's good and quiet the whole time, because otherwise she'd be whining outside of my door because she thinks the world's ending outside right now. So I just want everybody to be aware of that. So I'm not just like throwing on some spooky like Goosebumps ambience. Right
Ooh, that's going to be a great Halloween episode. Whatever game we end up doing.
Dude, yeah. Pin that. Yeah, the Halloween episode of Bit Harmony is going to be fire. Oh, we got to do that whole like what was it on Goosebumps? Like, viewer beware, you're in for a scare. Oh, I love it. Yes. Anyways, so yes, I was looking at some of the stats just on Spotify, and yeah, there was a cool stat that I thought was interesting. Like on all of my other podcasts, the vast majority of my demographic is like 40-year-old dudes. Which is to be expected. Like All Ends listenership is literally like 86% male. And with Bit Harmony, that's not the case. There's actually a pretty wide spread of listenership. In fact, I think it's closer to 40% of the listenership being female. And I just thought that was really cool. I thought it was kind of neat that the show, I don't really know why that is.
Right.
But I just thought it was kind of neat that this show has kind of reached a wider demographic than some of the other stuff.
Yeah, and I brought up talking about this on the show. I know it, like, for some people that might be like a little too inside baseball or whatever, but I have a reasoning for this. It's very, so first of all, yeah, that makes me very happy that this is reaching a wider demographic than all the people that I know, basically.
Right.
But it's very, very important to me whenever I have any kind of platform and where it's applicable to stake my flag in the ground in terms of like it's extremely important to me that anyone listening to this feel safe and comfortable. Like I don't want there to be any kind of any kind of like negativity going on. That's extremely important to me, but it's also not just about negativity. This is especially important, especially I'm assuming most of our listeners are coming from America in an election year where conservatives are trying their hardest to set women's rights back a few more decades than they already have. To mention nothing of the litany of other issues happening both in America and the world. So it makes me feel proud. Again, it's not like we planned this. I don't I don't know who, or I don't know why we do have that number, but that's a great number. So I hope you all keep listening. I hope we are able to provide something for you that, I don't know, other podcasts do not. Whatever that may be, I don't know. Maybe send in a voicemail and let us know what we're doing right. And I'm also aware that a certain demographic might say that I'm painting a unnecessary bullseye on our backs. But in my opinion, it is borderline like gross negligence as like a cis white dude to not make statements like this and not make my position clear whenever we can do it. So that's agreed. That's the main reason I wanted to bring that up, even if this is a video game music podcast. And if you're a hateful little goblin, we're probably not going to talk about this very often anyway. So you could just ignore this and just keep quiet in the back and just keep listening to some good video game music. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, co-signed. I agree. And yeah, it's neat. So you gave me enough time to you stalled enough for me to pull up the exact numbers So yeah, currently 59.6% male, a clean 35% female, and then 5.4% non-binary is the current bit harmony demographic, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, well, do we want to? We do have a voicemail this week to get into. Do we want to get into it?
So I know the way the notes are structured is a different way. Maybe we should play the actual song first, and then let's do the voicemail.
Okay.
Do you want to do that?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, let's take a quick break then for Dusty Drill, and then it will be apparent why I want to do the song first.
Fair.
And that was Dusty Drill off of, again, the Pepper Grinder soundtrack. That's the whole soundtrack is done by Xeecee. I think that's how you pronounce their name. We will be talking about Xeecee and the developer soon enough. But before that, and before we even talk about our thoughts on the song, we had a little voicemail that started off as kind of a song request and then turned into its own analysis and reaction. So we're going to play that for you right now.
Hey, Shy here. I just wanted to call in and talk about why I love the song Dusty Drill so much. I'm sorry this is going to be a little extra, a little cheesy, but I don't really care, right? I love the opening, right? The drums hit, and they sound like they're being played by someone on a real simple kit, right? Like it's this cool cat. He knows who he is. He doesn't need this huge drum set to prove who he is, right? It almost reminds you like Pepper's the real deal. She doesn't need hyped up. Then the bass line kicks in, and it almost reminds me a bit of a slightly sped up Cake song. I almost expect John McCrae to come in on the vocals, right? But that bass line, it's funky and it's strong and it's persistent through the whole song. To me, it's like it's telling you Pepper's story here, right? That bass is all over those strings and it's varying its tempo and it sticks throughout the entire song. It's kind of like Pepper, right? She's been all over the place, hunting down her treasure. But just like the strength of that bass line does not quit, it's kind of like she never quit. She's not stopping until she gets her treasure back and gets her revenge. I just love it, right? And then the guitar, it's got that little twang. It almost sets me in the Wild West. Like this whole thing has the legend, the gravitas, right, of an old Wild West story. And then those horns hit, and my goodness, right? I love it. It's like they're a reminder. She's the real deal. She is fierce. She is valid. Like these pirates messed with the wrong mamma jamma. And then at 2:58 in the song, instead of one horn, it gets backed up by an entire section. It's like an exclamation point on this entire saga. I just cannot get enough of it. And then the bass kind of carries us off. It fades out like you're riding into the sunset, like the rest is history. And I love the song simple. The game is simple. And, you know, sometimes that's okay. You just need a simple, fun game. And there's nothing pretentious about this song, just like I feel like there's nothing really too pretentious about this game and Pepper's story. And I just feel like this song is like the song that summarizes the game and the soundtrack for me, even though the soundtrack varies so widely in style. I don't know. There's something about Dusty Drill. It may not be the best song, but it's my favorite song on this soundtrack.
Wow. Special guest Shy Guy coming in. Third host here on the episode, I feel like.
he stole all my notes, basically. So.
Yeah, he really, I mean, he nailed it, man. This, I got to agree with him, too. This is also my favorite song on the soundtrack. Ooh, man. I got to tell you, man, it's hard for me to like keep it PG here on the show, but I love horns. I love horns in any song. If you have got horns in the song, I am so there, dude. You have no idea. There is no instrument that gets me more hyped than like a horn passage. My wife makes fun of me. There's a little like descending 3-note horn trill in the Donny Hathaway Christmas song "This Christmas" in the chorus that gets me so hyped. And it's a very simple thing because he'll just be like, "And this Christmas," and then the horn's like "do do doom."
And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me.
It's the best. It gets me, I freak out every time. It's like one of my favorite Christmas songs for that reason, just because of that little 3-note horn trill. And yeah, like it just, I love it in jazz or any like song where there's horn instrumentation in it, where like it almost doesn't want to stop. Like it kind of gets in there. Even at the very end of this song, there's like a little horn trill in there at the very end. It's almost like let me just get one last in real quick. You know, I love it. He mentioned the steel guitar. I love that little steel guitar that's snuck in there. If you listen to the song with like nice headphones, there's actually like sleigh bells in the mix. If you listen out for them, which is like always a plus for snow levels, and then yeah, like that bass line, dude. Oh, what a song.
Yeah. This is not my personal favorite song, but I do feel like this is probably like this is the song from this game.
Yeah.
Like Shai said, it to me this is like the exclamation mark on the whole game. Like I don't know, this level is just very good and has such an energy to it, and then this song has such an energy to it. I also real quick to also tie it into the actual level. I don't think the game version of this song has like that little beginning with like the simple little drum thing going on where it sounds like they're fiddling with a drum kit. I think it's silent in the game until you break the first ice block in the level, and then the horn. That's where the song starts. Is the horns coming in? That's such a cool moment for me. It's such a like. I don't want to say like cinematic exactly, but like you have a giant buddy in the background in a couple stages, and he's moving with the song after you break that ice block. Like to me, the horns specifically, because of that, it feels like that's like the representation of the giant. like if this is a band, the giant is the one playing the horn. Like that's probably my favorite like singular moment in the game is the silent start, then breaking that first ice block, and then the horns kicking up. That said, on the album version, hearing that little drum fiddling at the beginning is very, very good. I was very shocked hearing that when I was listening to this outside of the game for the first time.
More thunder. It was interesting. We interviewed the game's like solo developer Riv on All In last week, and he talked about. I asked him about the music selfishly a little bit so that I could talk about that on this show. But he mentioned like they did stem out a lot of the songs for that reason, like so that pieces could be triggered by events like you're talking about. So that is just like such a cool effect. I always love it when a game does that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Anytime we talked about a little bit with like the Streets of Rage 4 soundtrack, like how it's like a loop of your gameplay and the music kind of feeding into each other and changing dynamically as your play progresses. Yeah, that it's awesome. I don't have that many. Like I said, most of my notes both you and Shai already covered. I will just say the very first note I have is like the chunkiest bass I've ever heard.
Yeah, dude.
It's very, very chunky in the best way possible. But yeah, I think all my notes have been covered. I don't know if you had any other things you wanted to touch on with Dusty Drill.
No, man, it is so good. Like it's the one, like there are a few songs on this that I actually would really like to get this soundtrack. I bought it on Bandcamp and everything, but I kind of want to get it on like vinyl. I don't have a lot of vinyl, but I feel like this soundtrack would be very good to listen to on vinyl because of stuff like that. So, so good.
There's just such a lively feel to it. And again, I don't know if any of this was even made with live instruments. I doubt it nowadays, but I don't know. I have no idea. Some of it does sound so natural that I do wonder if at least some of the instruments were. But it just, I know what you mean. It does sound like it would be a real good crackling vinyl soundtrack in general. Do we then want to talk a little bit about kind of Pepper Grinder as a whole? I know you interviewed, like you said, the dev that's Riv Hester. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? I couldn't find basically anything about him besides an old itch.io page that has like 3 things on it.
Yeah, it's interesting. If y'all, I mean, I'll point you to that episode of All In if you want kind of deeper thoughts from his own words and everything about kind of his journey. But I mean, like, yeah, he's this game's been in the pipeline. You can trace this game back to like 2017. From like, and it's interesting too because like if you watch the initial sort of like reveal, like early kind of footage of the game from all the way back then, pretty much what we got. Like it looks very similar to what the final product of the game was. Like not even like the level design and stuff, like not all that much has changed, but he went on such a journey kind of like getting this game finally out there now, like, 7+ years later. And yeah, working effectively as a solo dev. He had like a lot of ups and downs in his kind of like professional career, and even the situation of like him getting linked up with Devolver, like in particular, was kind of an interesting story, which I'll just kind of like go through the cliff notes of that. He had a falling out with the publisher that he was talking to about Pepper Grinder and was working with for a little while. And he kind of didn't know what to do with the game. He sat on it for like a year and didn't do anything to it. And then he was looking to move to Oregon, and he was friends with the folks from Doinksoft, who made like Gato Roboto and most recently Gunbrella. I think they hadn't even like made Gato Roboto yet at that time. And he was talking about how like, you know, some of those folks, he was like roommates with them. He's like, yeah, a lot of Gato Roboto was made like in my basement or something, you know? And so it was kind of cool to learn about that. But he linked up with them. They were at like a house party together, and somebody from Devolver was just at that party. And he was like, yo, like I'm looking for a new publisher. He's like, yeah, like come through and like pitch it to us. And the rest is kind of history. It's a perfect fit for Devolver's catalog. So yeah.
I guess I just realized we never actually even gave any kind of description of the game before we talk about Devolver Digital.
Of what it is.
Yeah. Pepper Grinder is, luckily it's not too complicated to explain. It's a side-scrolling platformer. The main difference is that it's a 2-button game. You only jump and you drill. You're constantly holding a drill. There are some verb set changes throughout, but even then it's still all predicated on attaching things to your drill or the way in which you're drilling through different surfaces. It's just a great little game. Again, we'll talk about it more later, but yeah, it just as a game, side-scrolling platformer where you're drilling through stuff. And again, you've heard some of the music already to give you any kind of idea of what it is. Yeah, Devolver Digital, to me, they're kind of the most consistently high-quality indie publisher out there at this point.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of like anyone that would compete, maybe Annapurna. But with Devolver Digital, they tend to have more of like a gameplay focus than most Annapurna things. I mean, I know Annapurna has Neon White and everything, but like Devolver Digital straddles this line of like, we're putting out high quality polished games, but like they still feel like indie games in terms of like the scope and stuff like that. I have a whole a long list of games here, and this isn't covering even a fraction of what they put out, but these were all notable ones to me. I didn't even remember that they had done all of these. Hotline Miami 1 and 2 are probably the biggest to this day games that they've put out, which, yeah, those games are incredible. I would say we should do an episode on those, but that's all like licensed music, right? We'd probably get sued for that one. I don't know. But
I mean, I don't know. It's all fair use stuff. We're commentating on it. Yeah.
Most recently they put out, not most recently, but more recently they put out stuff like Cult of the Lamb, Olia, Inscription, Gunbrella, Ape Out, Minute, Carry On, The Swords of Ditto. Have you ever played The Swords of Ditto?
No, I always wanted to. I actually didn't realize that they had published that.
I didn't either until I was on their Wikipedia page earlier this morning. My wife bought it when it was brand new, and we played a lot of it. She was visiting America at the time. This is back in like 2018 or something. It's a really good little multiplayer. Well, it doesn't have to be multiplayer, but like roguelite Zelda-esque, overhead Zelda-esque thing with a really just very charming cartoony art style.
Right.
And yeah, the whole thing is multiplayer. I don't remember if it's like up to 2 or up to 4 players, but we only played it with 2 of us. It's pretty great. I feel like it goes on sale real cheap very often, but I never hear anyone talking about it. It's really, really good from what I remember, and I think they've patched it a lot since then.
Nice.
Yeah, very good. Figure we'd give that a shout out specifically, since I think most of those other games are pretty well known. Did you have any other Devolver Digital games you wanted to shout out, or specific shout outs to any of the ones I just mentioned?
I mean, I think we I'll say, to plug Critical Diversions a little bit. We did a Critical Diversions Games Club episode on Gunbrella, which was really good and fun and gratifying. I really love Gunbrella. I'm probably the biggest Gunbrella fan that I know. It was one of my favorite games of last year, and that one I'd really love to do an episode of this on that one, because the music of that is also incredible.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, like Ape Out is a really special game. It's funny, we kind of couldn't do an episode on Ape Out because the music is actually just freeform. Like, it actually, you make the music while you're playing it. It's like that game is basically about creating jazz as you're playing the game. It's a really, really damn cool game.
But also you're a giant ape and you're killing people.
Dude. I love that game.
It's good.
I really love that game. And yeah, so I mean, you know, they just have a certain they have a certain attitude, which I do think kind of toes into like annoying sometimes, especially with like their little Devolver like E3 things. To me, that got old pretty quick.
Yeah, it's been a few years since I laughed at one of those, I think, but but for it's the Simpsons thing, right? Or the South Park thing. Like 10 years ago, they were punk, and now they're not really, but they're still acting like it in a way. But hey, in terms of their game output, they still got it.
They definitely do, and they're interesting. They're an interesting. I mean, I'm not trying to get on a huge tear on this, but but they're an interesting studio to follow, because before they were Devolver, they were like Gamecock Media or whatever. Back in like the Nintendo DS days, they would publish like some of the Renegade Kid games. Like they published the Dementium games back on the DS. And yeah, like back then, I think that was a publishing, conglomerate of like literally 2 or 3 people. And then like slowly but surely it turned into what is Devolver Digital now. So yeah, they're an interesting group.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I feel like the most consistent indie publisher at this point. And I don't know, I'm always interested whenever Devolver is like showing games they're putting out. They're putting out, I forget the name, the storybook one where you're popping in and out of the book.
Oh, the
right?
Plucky Squire.
Plucky Squire. Yeah. Which that looks awesome. I haven't seen it in like 3 years, but Skate Story has been in like my most anticipated game list for like 3 years now. But yeah, Devolver Digital, just pretty great game output all around. Lastly, in this section, we should talk a little bit about Xeecee. Again, I think that's how you pronounce it. The composer of the soundtrack for Pepper Grinder. Once again, I couldn't find a ton of stuff. Xeecee has a website. We'll put all this in the notes too. The main interesting thing I found on Xeecee's website is that they are also the composer for I don't know how to pronounce it, the Misery Chord series. I had never. The name is familiar, but I didn't know anything about it until I looked it up earlier today. These are like visual novel game. Well, you know what? Actually, I wrote this down for a reason. Will you please give your best like dramatic narrator voice doing this, this Steam description for Misery Chord?
Misery Chord. Yeah, it was funny when we interviewed Riv on All In. He had mentioned this because I think that they are also the developer of that game.
Okay.
Like that is their game, and they have done everything with that game, including the soundtrack. So, really cool. And yeah, like when he described it to me, I was just like, hell yeah, sounds awesome. But yeah, okay. So let's read this Steam description here. The year is 1482. The age of exploration and enlightenment is on the distant horizon, and the Renaissance is in full swing across Europe. But in England, the War of the Roses is in its final throes. Change is coming, but in one little convent in the north of the kingdom, everyone has seemed blissfully unaware. Everyone except Sister Catherine, a beloved nun and firebrand thinker who has just been murdered. In an isolated monastery with an already mysterious reputation, any one of the sisters could be the killer, and Mother Superior as stumped as anyone else. That's where you come in. Pretty good.
Pretty cool. The Steam description had a couple more paragraphs, but I didn't want to do the whole thing. Though I also, just by looking at it, I scrolled down to the reviews as I am wont to do. And I do want to quickly read this Steam review for Misery Chord from Steam user Tiny Tiramisu. Mostly
love that name. Great
name and great leading sentence here. For context, I am a medievalist, one who happens to study ... nuns.
Hell yeah.
I also love mysteries.
Same.
This game is my everything. It is well researched, well written, everything. There were so many little touches that demonstrated love and knowledge for the history and subject, and I adored the character writing. I cannot wait for the next part. Yeah, no, that's awesome. To be a medievalist who happens to study nuns and you love mysteries and you stumble into this game, I don't know. That would be like me stumbling into a new Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime game out of nowhere, I guess.
Yeah, you found your game, man. I'm like, can we get Tiny Tiramisu on the podcast? Like, what a cool person. A medievalist who also studies nuns.
Yeah,
okay,
that's great. And then that also, knowing now that Xeecee is also like the lead developer of Misericorde, explains a lot, because their website and their Twitter is just full of like nun pictures that they've made. So like, yeah. It does seem like Misericorde is pretty well researched based on what I saw. So yeah, all joking aside, that Misericorde sounds awesome. That sounds great. And
I want to play it.
Yeah, I genuinely am pretty interested in playing it. I heard a little bit of the soundtrack on Xeecee's website earlier today, and yeah, it has a lot of specifically like the guitar stuff that some of the Pepper Grinder songs have. So you can definitely hear that it's the same author in that sense.
They're so damn talented.
Yeah.
Like to be able to make like a game, and like some of the illustrations that Xeecee has both on their website and like within the game themselves, like they're also doing the artwork for this stuff, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
artwork.
Great.
Like a talented artist, an incredible musician, a game developer with like a really cool, well-researched, like what a talented human, man.
And they love nuns.
Yeah, I love it. I'm very impressed. Very impressed.
But yeah, I think that was everything I wanted to cover there. And again, there will be notes in the show notes for links to all of this stuff. There will be a lot this week or this episode. I gotta get out of that habit of saying this week.
I do the same thing.
Yeah. When I go back and edit, I hear like 7 different instances of it. So.
Yeah, it's fine.
Real quick, I guess, just since we're still talking about the game, I think after this, we're basically going to just completely go in on the soundtrack. But where's this ranking so far for you, like in terms of your favorite things this year? Because it's pretty high up there for me.
Yeah, for me too. It's it's got to be in my top 5 for sure. I would have to really think about it. It's probably like my number 3 right now in terms of my favorite stuff that I've played this year. Because I think that the complaint that you hear most often with Pepper Grinder is just that it's short. That isn't really an issue for me. In fact, it's kind of a plus. I kind of like how quick the game is, and it's also all killer, no filler the whole way through. So I mean, like, I would rather have a 4-hour game that is never not excellent than a 40-hour game that meanders sometimes. So it ranks high for me. It's for sure going to wind up in my top 10 of the year, I think. Yeah no, I'm right there with you. I think, again, I'm not like a holistic note taker and like a holistic list maker, but yeah, right.
Last time I checked like my mental notes, this is definitely top 5 of the year so far. It's just really good all around. There's like no complaints, again, besides the length. And yeah, I'm with you. I would much rather, if the biggest complaint about a game is that it's only 4 hours, that's fantastic.
We're actually in a decent place at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
And especially like, hey, if they want to do a sequel to it, they have a great foundation. And if not, that's, as a one-off, that's totally fine for me. But yeah, we will, after this next break, we will talk some specifics about some of our favorite levels, as well as, again, dive more into the soundtrack. But for right now, let's take a break. We're going to play you Prickly Situation, and we will see you on the other side. And that was Prickly Situation. This is actually, I don't know if it's my favorite. It's definitely up there. This is either number 1 or number 2 for me. It's actually from the second level of the game, which the whole first level is basically a tutorial level on like, hey, this is how you're drilling and this is how you're jumping. And this is how you jump out of like a sand pile that you're drilling through and all that. When I played the demo on PC before the game came out, like I was interested in this game from the moment they revealed it. Was that in a Nintendo Direct? They revealed it, I think.
Yeah, it must have been either that or an Indie World showcase or something. Yeah.
Like I knew I was interested immediately. Just how the game looks, how colorful it is. I'm sure whatever song they played was great too. And I liked the first level, but yeah, it was this second level where Prickly Situation plays that I don't know, I was instantly in love. I'm like, okay, like this went from like, I'm looking forward to this game to like, when can I buy this game? When can I play the rest of this game? It's very Dust Force sounding to me.
That's my first note that I have written down. My first note is literally, we're really getting into Dust Force right now.
Yeah. It's funny, too. We were originally going to do Dust Force as our second real episode right after Anodyne, but then I realized that Anodyne 2 Return to Dust and then Dust Force.
It's a lot of dust.
They both have dust in the name, and it genuinely was going to bother me, so I'm like, we had to push Dust Force back.
Someday, though.
Oh yeah,
someday. The Dust Force OST is incredible.
Oh yeah, Dust Force. Again, Dust Force is a big inspiration for the show in general, because the first time I ever heard video game music on the radio was NPR was playing Dust Force one time.
Wow.
I was blown away by it, however many years ago that was now, like 10, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. We will do a Dust Force one, and probably relatively soon. Just I didn't didn't want the first 2 episodes to have dust in the title.
Too much dust.
In terms of notes on the actual song, I don't have that much written down here. I had the change at 129 when it adds like a high pitched layer on top of what's already there. I really like that a lot. This is also the first time you're doing any underwater stuff in the game.
Right.
And I don't know, there's like, the beat is kind of muffled in the song, which makes me think of like underwater. Just a really good water focused platformer level song. And then I'll also say, from a gameplay perspective, another reason I knew I would love this game is drilling through water feels completely different than drilling through sand or dirt or ice or whatever. And I know that sounds obvious, but like most games of any scale, they would just have it would still work the same, you know? So like, instead of drilling through the water, you're more like propelling yourself through the water from the circular motion of your drill. And that's, again, small detail that like the game would have been just fine if drilling through water worked exactly the same as drilling through anything else. But the fact that it doesn't is awesome. And I really, like I said, but the combination of this song and the water physics, as it were, that was when I knew, like, okay, this game is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Those little details really are what like propel the game to a different level. Like, because like, you know, there is different texture. Like you can feel the difference in the stuff that you're drilling through. But in addition to that, it allows you that kind of space to play and discover little things like, oh man, like if I kind of angle myself right with that momentum coming out of the water, I can actually kind of like skip across the water.
Yep.
Which is like the coolest thing.
Yeah, the first time I did that, it was in a later level with like the sharks. I think, hold on, there's an ambulance going by.
Oh, right on cue.
Right on cue.
Let's go, baby.
Different later level with like sharks in the water. And the first time I did that skip, I was like desperately trying to avoid a shark. And then I did that exact angle to start the skip going, and I zoomed past the shark. I was like, oh, okay. Didn't know that was possible.
Yeah. It's so cool. I love stuff like that in games. Yeah, you kind of mention it, that it's got that kind of like the bass in this. It's got this kind of like synthy, like almost blown out, like very deep sort of bass underneath it. It actually kind of reminds, like, yeah, it's very, very, very Dust Force coded, but also kind of reminds me of like Steven Universe, the kind of actual like aivi and surasshu, like Steven Universe original music, not like the kind of more vocalized music that's in that show. The actual background music of Steven Universe, I don't feel like it's talked about enough. It's incredible. And I think it might even, I could be wrong on this, but there are a couple of little like reverberated strokes that like happen that, throughout the course of the song. I think that might be the sort of like signature Steven Universe instrument for that stuff, and really just Rebecca Sugar in general, is this really cool instrument called the omnichord that I really like. It's like this little digital like keyboard thing, but you make notes and then you like have this little bar on the side that you like stroke to play out the chords, and I think that's what this is. If it isn't that, it sounds a lot like it, and I really like it. It just gives it this kind of like, it's kind of like between like chunky synth and like straight up chiptune. I really enjoy it. So yeah, really good.
Well, I look forward to, during the editing phase of this episode, listening to a bunch of Steven Universe music to try and find a good segment to put behind us there.
So good. It's underrated that like aivi and surasshu, and they put out a new album last year, and their stuff is just really good. And I feel like everybody, and don't get me wrong, I love the vocalized songs of Steven Universe as much as the next guy, but the actual like background music of Steven Universe, it's incredible.
Yeah.
So
it's been like 5 years since I watched Steven Universe, but I still, some of the songs I can still hear in my head. It's very good. So the next section I had here before we just full on go into soundtrack was any particular favorite levels from the game, and I think we each wrote down at least one here.
Yeah. The one that I wrote down was a level called, is both of ours that we wrote down to start both from World 3.
Yep, that's what it looks like. And also, not to mention the Dusty Drill song, that's also from World 3, and the world map.
World 3 is just incredible.
Yeah, our opening song is also the world map theme of World 3. Yeah, World 3 was easily the highlight of the game for me by far.
Yeah. Agreed. So the level I wanted to shout, it's called Brittle Glacier. First of all, it introduces early in the level the snowmobile, which, like, I remember I streamed essentially my full playthrough of the game on Olen's YouTube channel, and I popped off when I realized that, like, when you kind of realize, like, the game kind of surprises you at a few points, but when I realized that, like, the enemy that was charging at me with the snowmobile, I took him out, I'm like, okay, cool. Oh, wait. I can actually ride this thing? And it's like, it's so cool. Like, it feels great, and they don't really do, like, it's just a little section,
right?
Right. It's not like that becomes like the whole gimmick of the stage or whatever. It's just a little cool section that's just in there because it's fun. So I love that, but it also introduces my favorite of the like stage gimmicks, I guess. Like, the game has a really good sort of feel for like introducing concepts, very Donkey Kong Country in this way, Tropical Freeze specifically, where it'll introduce concepts and just like, use them to really great effect in the level design. And then like it'll go away for a little bit and then it'll bring it back in later and mix it in with other stuff. My favorite of these are the kind of like fragile, like ice hexagonal blocks that they introduce, where you drill through them, but you can't like hang out there. Like they're fragile. They go away after whatever, a second or two. So you kind of have to keep moving through them. You have to kind of get into a flow. It kind of forces you into a flow. I even just like the way they look. Like to me, just visually having these kind of like, barely held together chunks of like ice and snow. I don't know. I really enjoy that gimmick, the way it feels, the way it's implemented. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's cool because they not only use it for like action and like forcing you to keep moving forward in a way that you normally don't have to in this game. Like if you're just drilling through sand like normal and you're not sure on the angle of your jump, you can kind of keep circling around in the sand and not be forced to make a big jump at that moment.
Right.
And again, same thing with like most other surfaces in the game, but with these brittle ice blocks, you have to move because they will break behind you like a second or two later. So they not only pull that off with again giving you forward momentum, they also have, I guess puzzle solving is too strong of a word, but like very light puzzle solving elements of like there will be these gates that you have to, like series of connected gates, and when you bump into one, it moves both or all of them if there's more than two. But then there's a couple sections in this level where there are gates, but then like one will be frozen. So then you have to figure out the order of like, okay, I need to break the brittle ice first, then move the gates one way, wait for the ice to come back, then move the gates the other way. Well, that one now stays in place this time. Yeah, from a gameplay standpoint, I think, this probably is the best gimmick. And again, I want to make clear when we say gimmick, it's just for lack of a better word. Like it's gimmick, I feel like has a negative connotation, but like
isn't that weird?
Yeah, because like it's great. Give me more like level specific gimmicks in like every game. Like it's awesome.
It really just means like a new mechanical concept that is introduced and weaved into the design of the level or whatever. Gimmick is not in this context anyway meant in a negative,
right.
But I do feel like gimmick has sort of adopted a negative connotation somehow over the years. Yeah,
I feel like it's what I remember it happening was when Nintendo had like the Wii and DS, and everyone called like motion controls and touch screens like gimmicky.
Sure. And
now it is a standard thing in every hardware, both gaming and otherwise. So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what gimmicky means then if it becomes the universal standard.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this whole level is awesome. Our notes got all messed up earlier because of me writing wrong song names down. That said, we're going to take a break real quick for Frigid Fields, which is the song that plays in Brittle Glacier, and we will be right back. And that was Frigid Fields, again, like everything on this episode, off of the Pepper Grinder soundtrack. I didn't have too many notes for this song down. I will say it is the song that reminds me the most of like Hotline Miami, and it's funny that this is like the third time we've brought up Hotline Miami on this episode. Yeah, I love when you first get the snowmobile and it sounds like an 80s synth like action movie. It's so good. Like you said, like yeah, when you drill into the dude driving the snowmobile and then he dies, but the snowmobile doesn't go away. I was like, oh, are they going to let me do this? And then not only do you do this, but yeah, the music really kicks in at that point. And yeah, just a fantastic like 80s synth getaway song. Like Snake and Meryl or Snake and Otacon are really sweating this one out as they're jumping off of ice bridges and whatever.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
What a cool ending. That's a great moment. What a good call. Yeah. I love that kind of, my favorite thing I think about this song is it's got that, I love like when you do the kick drum, the kick bass drum, and it's like, it's front and center of like the whole song. Just, I love that. And then the keys that play, it's almost, when it starts, it's almost this like Baroque sounding like Castlevania keyboards or something for a bit. And they meld into that kind of synth passage that you're talking about, which does give it that kind of like 80s synth, like, yeah, getaway thing, or even like, because of the keys that are under it, even gives it like a little bit of like 80s slasher. Like
definitely
flavor. And like, it actually kind of reminds me, I don't know if you've ever listened to the theme song for American Horror Story 1984. Which is the last time that show was good.
Okay.
That is a good season of American Horror Story, and the theme song of that season is very good. It's on my wife and I have a Halloween playlist on Spotify, and it's on there. It's just a good like danceable synth song. This kind of reminds me of that. And then the last note that I have is just like what at the 2:30 mark, there's like some very interesting sounding keys. I don't know what it is. Like, I really like to listen to music and try to pinpoint what I think the instruments are. I don't know what the hell it is at 2:30. Like they're kind of like wailing, like high pitch. I think it is just keys, but the tone that they have on it, like it almost sounds like bagpipes or something. I don't think it is, but like that, it kind of like sounds like it. Just that wailing, high pitched kind of key. I don't know. I like it a lot. It's a really good like layered song.
Yeah, it's funny. This wasn't even originally on my when we do this, like we come up with like lists of what we think are the must-haves or whatever. I don't even know if I originally had this on like even my potentials list, but then I replayed the entire game because it's so short, especially when you've already played it. I beat it in like a 2-hour one sitting.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, why didn't I have this written down? This one's it's real good. I'll also say American Horror Story, I have not seen any of that show since season 1 when the pregnant mom was eating monkey brains. That's the only thing I remember from American Horror Story.
That's fair. That is probably the most inconsistent show I've ever seen in my life. And I would not recommend the vast majority of it. Okay. However, 1984 was fun.
I'll keep it in mind. I'm always, I genuinely enjoy horror movies. I feel like I'm like you in that I genuinely like the ones that are good, or shows in this case, but like there just aren't that many that are actually good. Right. So anytime there's something even passable, I'll take it. I want to shout out specifically level wise, Crystal Falls. I didn't find the music. I'll have the music beneath us as we talk about it. But I don't think it was like break music worthy. This is probably my favorite stage gimmick in the game, and you're just going through this cavern, and there's like snow or ice like falling down, and the only way you can proceed is by drilling upwards into the snow. So like as the snow is falling down, it's coming down in chunks, not a solid piece of snow or ice. Yeah. So you're having to like kind of wind your way through these falling chunks of snow, and then get to the next one. And yeah, if you get the angle wrong when you come out, you might end up just falling to your death, or not death exactly, but to your lessened HP. And yeah, they do fun things with it, like whole like horizontal slices of like, hey, you have to get it's not just a vertical thing, you also have to worry about your horizontal movement. Like, hey, get all the way right, but again, the snow is falling down into these spikes, so you're also having to angle upwards at the right times. They just do some real cool stuff in this level, and again, this game is fantastic all around. There's not a single bad level in the game. There's not a single like overly or bad gimmick, overly used or bad gimmick in the game, but in a game full of like good to excellent stage gimmicks and stage designs, this is probably my number one.
Yeah, I one thing that I want to stress as we talk about Pepper Grinder is like, yeah, like it really is excellent the whole way through. I would cut nothing. Right. I would cut nothing from the game. Like, sometimes you'll play a game that is either like oddly paced, or there'll be moments or levels where you're like, like that one didn't really hit. It all hits in Pepper Grinder, and that's what I think really sets it apart. There's not a scrap of fat on it. It really is all killer no filler. And yeah, like I don't think this gimmick is used again. No, I think it's just this stage. Right. You know, you could have done multiple level, like other games, lesser games. I don't even want to say lesser games, but like, you know, like there are games that would have leaned into this for like 2 or 3 stages. And they could have even, you know, gotten away with doing this same concept, but with water, or, you know, you could have had like a lava stage with falling lava blocks or whatever. Like they could have reused this concept in many different ways, but they didn't. They put it here, and I think that it gives it like a very nice kind of like identity within the grand scheme of the game. I feel like every level is kind of allowed to have its own breathing room and identity because the game is so tight and compact. Like everything hits, I think, way harder. Another thing that I really like about this stage in particular, something that we haven't mentioned yet, is the game has got these kind of like coins off the beaten path, these collectible coins that are all very fun to explore. A lot of times you're kind of looking for cracked pieces of wall that you hit with your drill, and it kind of very satisfyingly, like, you know, breaks the wall around it, revealing where a hidden coin is. And this level was really fun to kind of like explore and find little hidden areas, because you have to kind of put yourself at risk. You kind of have to, like, you know, jump out of the sort of snowfall into an area that you don't know is going to be a safe landing or not, you know, in order to get there. This was a fun level to 100%, you know? Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. I don't have it in the notes, but I do want to shout out, I forget what the level song even, or what the level name even is. I think, is it like Shark Teeth or something? It's the water-oriented level in World 3. So I think now at this point we've talked about everything in World 3 except the boss fight. But because it's cold, like if you stay in the water too long, you take damage. So the level is kind of all about like finding times to burst out of the water like a dolphin to warm back up, or finding like icebergs to drill into that you won't be cold in there. Those had my favorite coins in the game. There's 2 coins where they're pretty deep underwater and like they're off screen, so you kind of have to like go there almost like on like a hunch, but not really a hunch. Like there's plenty of like visual hints and design that should, you know, if you're paying attention, lead your eyes down that way. But yeah, there's one, it's like the third coin, maybe even second, but where like there's chunks of ice leading down that you can drill into, as well as like chains that are coming up from below. So like that should be drawing your eyes like, oh, I wonder what's down there, and can I get down there if I drill through the ice strategically? And yeah, you can. And then like the coin is in like a submersible way down in this cold, dark water. So cool. Yeah. It was one of my favorite moments in the entire game. I just really wanted to shout that one out. I think the song from that level we're using as our outro music this week, Glacial Pace. Yeah. And then lastly, in terms of levels, I guess, you know what?
let's go on another break. We're going to play Airy, which is the song from the last level we're going to shout out specifically. So again, this is Airy from the Pepper Grinder soundtrack, and we will be right back. And that was Airy, which this is my other contender for like my number one spot on the soundtrack. Yeah. Mostly just because it just sounds like a Neon White song.
Totally. Yeah.
In fact, it's funny. The stage notes I have in our shared notes, but then my song notes are in my individual now, so I have to keep going back and forth.
Notes on notes.
Yeah, it's just all notes all the way down. But yeah, like I said, my favorite is either this or Prickly Situation. Again, I feel like I keep saying this. I don't have that much to say about this song other than like it is so good. I love jungle drum and bass. It is.
Yeah,
it's like my favorite subgenre or genre of music that you don't hear that much of anymore. Like again, you and I are the biggest Neon White nerds there are, I guess. And yeah, the soundtrack is a big part of that. Like I love that game all around, but if you take out that soundtrack, I doubt I would have gotten into it anywhere near as much as I did. So yeah, Airy tapping into that was really good. As the name would imply, it is a level where you're high up in the air. Like there's a lot of bottomless pits beneath you. So it does a pretty good job, I think, of evoking the danger of being high up in the air, but it also like in kind of a controlled chaos kind of way, if that makes sense.
Right.
It's just really, the song sounds and feels like dangerous and frenetic, but not like you're out of control kind of thing. And then I guess I'll just shout out real quick. At the very end, you bounce on some blimps. That really reminded me of a specific World 2 stage in Tropical Freeze, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And yeah, we keep shouting out Donkey Kong Country with this game in terms of, it's like set piece platformer level design. But yeah, this is the one that like really did it for me. Also, earlier in the level, you're blasting out of cannons, very similar to how you blast out of barrels in Donkey Kong Country games. Yeah, I love the blimps at the end. Not only does it like the fact that they have these like bespoke this level only set piece things that also behave uniquely because you bounce off of them automatically. You can't stop bouncing on them. If you drill into them on accident, they pop and then they slowly float down, and then you might take damage if you float all the way down with them. Just excellent level design, excellent song. In fact, thinking about it more, this probably is indeed my number one song off the soundtrack.
Yeah. The blimps thing, it actually took me a few tries to like wrap my head around that, because you have to like not only manage like, the fact that you're bouncing on these things, but you have to like purposefully, like you have to consciously like aim your drill. Because normally you're kind of aiming your drill like with the right stick, almost like a twin stick experience. And you have to like make sure that your drill is not aimed down. Otherwise, you're going to accidentally pop the blimp. Right. And that took me a second to like wrap my mind around. And I like it when it reminds me of for some reason this is just the first thing that popped into my head is like there's a moment in Symphony where you have to like manage your jumps very precisely. Like you have to like purposefully just like walk off of a ledge so that you get like, your proper amount of jump. Like I love it when a game kind of forces you to really think spatially about like its core mechanic, where the core mechanic actually can be like a hindrance to what you need to do. I really enjoy that every time a game does it. And the song is great. That kind of 2002 DMB thing, you're in your Neon White, you're in your Jet Set Radio, I'm very into all of that. The only sort of instrumentation note that I have is there's like this staticky, like almost like bug zapper sound. It kind of sounds like the kind of like sometimes comes, from the background into the fore that I really like. And it's also interesting. We've compared the game to Tropical Freeze specifically several times, which is a game that you and I both love a lot. The game, when the game was first kind of like coming out, a lot of people are like, somebody's making a spiritual successor to Drill Dozer. Right. And the game really has nothing in common with Drill Dozer.
Besides the drill, and
other than the fact that there's a drill.
Right, because they don't play similarly at all. The level designs are not similar in any way. Yeah.
No. And it was funny because like I asked Riv about that when we interviewed him, and he's like, I hadn't even played Drill Dozer before. And he actually did play it in the course of development. Now it's like one of his favorite games, but Drill Dozer was not an influence on Pepper Grinder. What the game actually is it's like you know, it is basically like, think of a Donkey Kong Country style game with the movement, you know, like a better feeling Echo the Dolphin or something. You know, it is essentially what this game is. And yeah, it's really interesting. Like I really love the consideration that was paid to every single level. And this is not, I don't think, the same level. I could be wrong. You've replayed the game more recently than me. But I also wanted to shout out, you know, there's so many cool, like, in-level moments and gimmicks. Like, this game is just so 10 out of 10 paced the entire time. And I don't want to spoil everything that happens, but two moments that really stuck out to me, that as we've been talking have just kind of come to mind that I wanted to shout out. There's a moment, there's a level that's kind of like, it takes place like in the water and you drill up through ships, and the ships like capsize because you're drilling through them. That was really cool and just neat and like surprising, like in a way that the game kind of like, you know, threw away like such a big part of what it was doing there because you're drilling through the ship. Very cool and satisfying. And also shout outs to that level where there's like an erupting volcano that like shoots like lava chunks into the water that you have to use. Oh, what a cool game, man.
And what's funny is there's still, again, every single level in this game has a unique thing going on. There's not a single one that doesn't have something unique. Like we haven't, despite how long we've been talking and how many specific levels that we're shouting out, we still haven't even covered like half of them. We haven't, there's multiple things you can attach to your drill that is not the snowmobile. Like there's at least like 3 other things and they're all pretty great. I'm thinking of one in particular that I'm sure you know what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's funny. I was, you know, when we started the show, I figured, you know, we're just going to mostly talk about the music, and then like our love of the music would like push people to buy games or check games out or whatever. And obviously I'm sure that will be the case. Like if you hear some of this music and you don't want to play this game, then I don't know, this podcast might not be for you in general. But also like, I'm so glad that we're actually like taking like extended time to talk about the actual gameplay, you know, in the same way, like Anodyne 2 last time, we talked extensively about the story. I was going to make a joke originally about like how we're going to take a hour and a half dive into like Pepper's motivations and her religious indoctrination. But anyway, the point I was trying to make originally was that like, I'm always interested in being an advocate for like indie games, like in any way I can. Like that's that's how you and I got like closer and became like better friends, is because of recommending Anodyne 2. So like, yeah, I'm very proud of just us talking this long about Pepper Grinder, because it is such a good game. And honestly, it would do me, I don't know, it would make me feel very, very good to hear if anyone ends up buying Pepper Grinder. I guarantee you it will not be as contentious and controversial as Anodyne if you decide to buy it.
I was just going to say, I don't want to spend time on this, to be clear. However, it did do my heart. I mean, there, for better or for worse, there were multiple people who played Anodyne 2 as a result of us talking about it here on the show. Which look like, regardless of how you've reacted to the game or whatever, I am just glad that we're able to talk about these games and get people interested in trying them, you know. And like, I can't tell you how a game is going to land for you. All I can do is tell you how it landed for me, and like what it kind of means to me in my life and the way it made me feel and my reactions to it. I have no interest in talking about this stuff objectively. I'm only interested in talking about this stuff subjectively and telling you what it means to me. So, yeah, if anything that we've said has you even slightly motivated or interested to check out Pepper, I mean, hell, it's got a demo.
Yeah, that's true.
You can just play it for yourself.
It's the first 3 levels, which is that's most of the first world. So like, you can get a pretty good feel for the game and its soundtrack between the demo and us talking about it.
Yep.
That said, let's take a break. Our last break of the episode. We're going to play you Hot Hot Horns, and we'll be back to talk about that. And then our YouTube comment oversharing corner, the most beloved part of our show.
for me.
And that was Hot Hot Horns. Once again, if you couldn't tell already, off of the Pepper Grinder soundtrack. Seth, this was one of your picks specifically. What do you gotta say about Hot Hot Horns?
I love this song. Well, first of all, it's more horns, right? Yeah. And then, I just any excuse I have to talk more about the horns. This is a very stupid. This is a very stupid thing that I just have to get out of my system. There was a. I don't know if you're gonna remember this or if this resonates at all. There was a band in the like mid to late 2000s called Hot Hot Heat. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with Hot Hot Heat?
I don't think so
at all. It's a sort of like pop punk Midwest emo sort of band, but I remember they had like, I don't know if it was just like MTV or something like that. They had bought like commercial space. The commercial for their debut album was I couldn't get away from it. Every time I turned on the TV, it would be like Hot Hot Heat with their hit song Let Me In or whatever. And
okay.
The band like kind of sucks. Like it's not even like a great band, but like for some reason I like that commercial was beat into my head so much on TV that like I know every word to that song. And I remember when Saints Row 2, I think, came out. That song is in Saints Row 2.
What? Okay.
And it just...
This is weird.
Yeah. Like, it just flashed me back to, like, being a kid. Like, it reminded me of being a teenager, like, getting ready for school and, like, VH1 being on the TV and that damn commercial. And so anyways, I hadn't thought about that in so long until seeing the title of this song being Hot Hot Horns. It made me think of Hot Hot Heat, and now I'm on this whole tirade. So,
I watched a lot of VH1 in that era, or at least had it on the background. I'm not familiar at all, but maybe if I look it up, maybe it's just buried in there.
I'll try to find the commercial and see if it it reminds me of that commercial that everybody saw at like 3 a.m. the love ballad song.
That one I know.
Everybody knows that, right?
Imagine owning the world's greatest love songs by the greatest voices of our time. In a once-in-a-lifetime collection. Time Life Music presents the Ultimate Love Songs Collection.
That's a classic commercial that woke everybody up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll try to track it down and see if I can find the commercial and send it to you. It's just, it's drilled into my head. No pun intended. But anyway, Hot Hot Horns as a song. I love this song because like it kind of like morphs a few different times. Mm-hmm. It starts off as this kind of like, you're in like the 70s disco, like dance kind of vibe, and you've got that like the horns are kind of like low and slow and droning like kind of under the dance, but then around like the 103 mark they go off. Mm-hmm. And like oh man, like I said earlier, like nothing makes me as hype as when horns like kind of introduce themselves into songs. And from that moment on, it kind of transforms from like this 70s disco thing into just straight up trance, like basically for the rest of the song, but it doesn't lose the horns anymore. Like, it's really, really good. This is, this is probably my second favorite song in the OST.
Yeah, I like this one actually more than Dusty Drill. Like this one is again, this whole soundtrack is fantastic, but I think this one to me is like underrated. I guess as underrated as it can be for how good the whole soundtrack is. It's funny. I had a note about 103 also. Is just the horns fully take over at 103, and then the song never stops cooking, which I don't think this is on purpose, but this plays in like a food themed level. But that probably wasn't on my mind when I made that note. There's also this I have it marked as like around 135. There's like these short bursts of horns, and then they keep like appearing and disappearing. I don't know. It's like a kid playing peekaboo, but it's like horns. Right. This is another one where I had this on like the maybe list, I think, or potentials. And then when I replayed the game the other day, I'm like, what am I talking about? This one is incredible.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's great.
I will also say, based on because it's a food level, there's lots of fun stuff with like there's boiling pots of soup, and there's like dudes like scooping out soup and throwing it at you.
Ladles. Yeah.
I really liked there's like giant chunks of meat, and I didn't realize for a while you could drill through them. And then if you drill through like the ribeye of the meat, then that pops out and makes like a fun little noise. And just, again, extremely cute attention to detail that it just adds so much to the game. This is actually my favorite level in World 2, meaning it's basically the best level in the game that isn't in World 3, essentially.
Yeah. No, it's all good stuff, man. And again, the game is just full. And I hope what we're illustrating is that like the game is, we haven't talked about like a huge chunk of the game. Like we're really not spoiling much, telling y'all what we've told you. There really is so much going on here, in every single stage. They all have those cute little details that just really elevate this game beyond just being like a fun, well-made, well-considered platformer with great level design. Like it also has all these little details. Like it doesn't shock me that it took so long to make. Not only because of knowing of now that I know of like Riv's like life circumstances as he was developing the game, but like all of these little tiny details to like add so much texture to the game. Yeah, it's good. Real good.
Just a great game all around. Again, please play Pepper Grinder if you like 2D platformers of like any kind. I was talking to Hunter from the Critical Diversions Discord about this the other day, and he was like, he was just freaking out about it. I think he only just played it. He was like, yeah, Mario Wonder was a disappointment to me in a lot of ways, but like this game, like, I know that sounds crazy to say, like, oh yeah, this little $15 indie game kind of like filled the hole that Mario Wonder didn't fill for me.
I agree.
But yeah, I 100% agree. This is, in terms of like the creativity and like the kinetic feel of it, this is what I want out of like a new 2D Mario. Not to go off on too big of a tangent, but I'm still waiting for Retro Studios to get to make a 2D Mario. That's one of my few like dream games that I really just want to see happen. But yeah, can't emphasize enough. Yeah, there's a demo on PC and on Switch. This is only on PC and Switch in general right now, right?
Yes, I think that's right. And at least for now, it launched as a PC and Switch exclusive. Yeah.
But yeah, $15. If you're iffy on us saying the length isn't that long, wait for a sale, get it 10, I guess. But I'm telling you, $15 is still a pretty dang good price for what this game is.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. And it's like, and it's the kind of thing too, like the game also has, if you want to chase them down, they're really difficult, but there's time trials also. So like if you really want to be like a real head with Pepper Grinder and get crazy with it, you could probably spend a lot of time with it, honestly.
I know in a recent patch they said that they adjusted some of the par times for the time trials, but I haven't gone in to look at them because I got the gold medal on like the first 3 levels, but the 3rd level already took me like over half an hour of just practicing like skips through the gates and stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't have it in me to get gold medal on every level in this game. So yeah, there is plenty of content there if you want to go that extra mile and do the time trials.
Yeah, if you want to master it, right? Like, I can't wait to see, like, I really hope that this makes it into SGDQ this year. Because I really want to like see, high level Pepper Grinder play. It's like you can totally go through the game and just kind of like, fumble around, have a good time with it, but like really mastering the game. You could tell it's like a fun game to master.
Yeah, the movement just feels good. Like even just walking around, not that you're just walking around very often, but yeah, even that feels good, and that's not even getting into the actual drilling motion. Yeah, GDQ is a good shout out for that. Yeah, in terms of games that have come out this year since the previous GDQ, yeah, this and Penny's Big Breakaway. Those are the 2 things that I most want to see at SGDQ or AGDQ in the next like 6 months or whatever. All of that said, do we want to get to the YouTube comment oversharing corner?
Yes, please. Let's do it.
We've got a special treat for you on this one, dear listener. But as a reminder, first, this is the section of the show where we read off any funny or memorable or interesting or insane comments that we stumble across while grabbing songs for this episode. I will say, normally I go into individual songs on YouTube and look for comments there. I couldn't find almost any song from the soundtrack that wasn't uploaded by like the auto generator, the topic thing, whatever YouTube wants to call that. And the comments are disabled, so I don't have any specific song comments this time. So what I did was I just went to the Nintendo, a Pepper Grinder trailer on the Nintendo YouTube channel. I don't know which one it was, probably the most recent one. And I fished for comments there. I will go ahead and read these first two real quick because they kind of go hand in hand with the fact that this came from a Nintendo YouTube channel. And also they're kind of just dumb. YouTube user CB Maddie 9262 posted 2 months ago, big cave story vibes. The reason I shouted this one out is because I don't see cave story basically at all. Aside from the fact that, like, I guess the characters in Cave Story and Pepper in this, they're both like relatively small on the screen, but like that's literally it.
Yeah, even like it really doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't remind me of Cave Story really at all, and like even the music isn't very.
Nope, not at
Cave
all.
Story. Yeah, I don't really know what they're talking about. I mean, I'm glad they played Cave Story. I guess Cave Story is a really interesting and quite influential game in a way that I think it maybe doesn't always get credit for. But yeah, I
think my take on this at first was I was like, are they doing like is this like a meta? They're making fun of people comparing this to Drill Dozer when it doesn't have much to do with Drill Dozer, but I think I'm giving someone way too much credit.
Probably.
I think they just, for whatever reason, they just wanted to shout out Cave Story. And you know what? I also want to shout out Cave Story, so that's why I put this comment in here. I'll go ahead and read this next one. It's YouTube user Camaricolical commented 2 months ago, wins Metroid Zero mission coming to NSO, also wins Prime 4.
I love it when people like insert things like that when it has no rhyme or reason, no place. You know, Prime 4, where it reminds me of before they actually announced this game, when people were like so hungry for Skate 4.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
I do remember that. Yeah,
like everybody, it would be like it's like y'all didn't play Skate when Skate was a thing, and now you care about Skate 4 so much. Like every showcase, it would be like Skate 4, Skate 4. So I love it when people like, you know, ask about it's like that's it, no Smash.
Oh God! You know? Even when Nintendo would say there will not be a Smash Bros. Announcement at this Direct, even at indie things, people would be like, so there's going to be an indie character in Smash, right? Like that's what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Now it's Silksong. Yeah. You know, there's always something.
It's the Silksong thing has reached a point where like it's upsetting to me, like to imagine being an indie developer and like to see like the existence of your game just be completely overshadowed by a game that wasn't even at the showcase, right? Like it's reached a point where like, yeah, I kind of wish Team Cherry would just like say something, like just be like, hey, like I don't know what I want them to say, but just be like, hey, we're not going to be at this thing, we're going to do our own thing, we'll give you a date in the summer or something. But like I genuinely feel like it's ruining like indie showcases for other indie developers. But yeah, that all said, I do really like the idea of Camaricolical demanding to know where Metroid Prime 4 was in a Pepper Grinder comment. Because
what did you think was going to happen?
I assume that it just meant they're not expecting any kind of answer, but it's just like, well, I have to make my voice heard. You know, we don't need to get into Stellar Blade, but all the Stellar Blade stuff going on the past past like week or so, I think it's that, but on a much more innocent level.
Sure.
I will go ahead and let you read this one for reasons that will shortly become obvious.
Okay. All right. So I guess we're gonna put a little bit of sauce on this comment. I guess. This is from YouTube user King Bruiser 8X, who commented 2 months ago. Who would dare attempt to make a fool of me? Only a fool themselves. For I am the Wolf King, and my power, it is beyond compare. That's from the Wolf King.
Yeah, King Bruiser 8X, the Wolf King. Again, I want to make clear, this is from the same Pepper Grinder trailer on the Nintendo YouTube account. I saw a direct response to this that was doing the classic "Sir, this is a Wendy's," which that's normally I feel like that joke's a bit overplayed at this point, but in this case, I quite liked it.
When you're talking to the Wolf King, yeah.
I will also say I'm the kind of person that I will obviously click into any weird Twitter or YouTube accounts or whatever. So I went to this person's channel, and for one, he has like 200 subscribers. So good on you, King Bruiser 8X. You're making it happen with this thing.
Doing something.
He basically is like role playing as like sometimes an anthropomorphic like wolf, and sometimes it's just a normal wolf, but it can talk. And he's just uploading like still images with text over it of wolves, and he's like getting into fights with other channels on YouTube. So like if you ever want to like fall down this weird rabbit hole of like seeing like what people on YouTube are up to nowadays, I've got a few good channels like that. I'll also shout out, this has nothing to do with Pepper Grinder, but I used to follow this channel that was just called Animorphers. And it
oh, hell yeah.
Well, hold on. Before you say that, it is literally just scenes from any kind of movie or show or whatever, any form of media of people transforming into animals. So obviously the Animorphs were on there, but it was just any scene. They had like a compilation of just like a bunch of different scenes of people turning into different animals. And I don't know if it's a fetish thing. I don't know if it was just a documentarian thing, in the same way that Tiny Tiramisu is a medievalist. If they're an anamorphicist, I don't know.
Yeah.
Great stuff, though. The internet has ruined us all. Lastly, this is a slightly more sincere, because I didn't want to only have like garbage comments.
The Wolf
on this
King.
one. I mean, the Wolf King's the best one of those three, I think.
I can't tell, because I looked at his channel too, and it's like right there where I'm like, is this a bit?
Yeah.
Is it a bit? Because he uses like the most low quality like images of like wolves with like, you know, watermarks and everything on them, you know, the kind of stuff that you would see on like, you know, like an old person shirt or something, like just wolves screen printed, and like a
TJ Maxx t-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, is this a bit? I genuinely can't tell, and that's where I like to be.
Yeah.
You know,
that's why I liked this so much that I specifically shouted out his channel for the first time ever on Bit Harmony. We'll have to invite the Wolf King on. I don't know what game we're gonna cover.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
But yeah, lastly, this was not from the Nintendo YouTube channel trailer comment section. This is from Riv actually uploaded it on his own YouTube channel like years ago. Early test footage of Pepper Grinder. I think it's of the first level, and I found this a couple weeks ago while looking for other stuff. And YouTube user aka Headless Chicken commented on this a month ago. Dude, finally getting to download this onto my Switch. Feels like a dream that I don't want to wake up from. Thank you. And I just thought that was a nice little capper.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's just cute, and it's just a nice little. We can't end on the Wolf King as much as we might like to. We have to have something sweet and sincere. Is how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
agreed.
That's gonna be it from us. Besides our outro this week. As a reminder, as Shy Guy did earlier on in this episode, you can, of course, send in voicemails or emails to bitharmonypod@gmail.com to be played on the show. Again, we're pretty okay with like whatever you want to send in. Like, it can be song requests, you could do what Shy did and give us your own analysis. You can ask us things, whatever you want to do. I think it's pretty fun. This is only our second like official episode, and I quite like all of the voicemails that have come in so far. I think it's been like a nice variety. I guess real quick before we get to all the Patreon shoutouts and stuff, I guess we're going to reveal the next episode in 2 weeks. How to explain this? We're covering video game and video game adjacent music from like the early 2000s. I know that sounds like a very broad topic, but I think it's going to become more clear like when you actually start listening to the episode. We will talk about specific video game soundtracks, obviously, but it's also going to be covering stuff like arranged CDs from the era and like OC remixes of the era, as well as I think some just general internet culture stuff from that time period as well. That's at least how I'm envisioning it. I don't know if you had any other thoughts to add on to that.
Yeah, I mean, to get y'all kind of into what our headspace was, I guess, when like talking about these early episodes of the show and kind of like playing with format. Like we had our episode 0, which was kind of like this mixtape of like get to know us and our flavor, and then we had like a kind of like big meaty, like a deep dive Anodyne 2 thing that was like 3 hours long or whatever. That was very like narrative focused, and then something like this where, like Pepper Grinder, where there isn't a lot of narrative, but we got to talk about the gameplay a lot, and like it was, we got to stop and talk about the music itself a lot. And then, coming into this next episode, it's going to be kind of more of like a theme, like a kind of just vibe. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's a really good sort of like way to get different flavors of like what is possible, I guess, with this show. And yeah, I really love this era in general. It's probably like my favorite era of my life to like think about, like this sort of like my teenage, kind of years and the music associated with it. And I've already started to think about the songs I want to bring to it, and I'm really excited to share them with y'all. And it's also going to be a little bit different from, because when we were first talking about it, I was initially kind of thinking of it as like sort of PC culture specifically, and we're saving that for something we're going to do in the future. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of things that we can talk about within this kind of early 2000s, like 2000 to like 2005-ish time frame, which I think it's also going to be cool because it's kind of when I think you and I both kind of really started to become like heads, like video game music heads,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yeah, gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's, I think, May 19th. That's the date I have written down at least. Okay. May 19th. So again, if you have any, again, I know that sounds like a broad topic. I don't think it's going to be as broad as it sounds like. But if you have any voicemails, it doesn't have to actually be related to the topic that episode. You can send in whatever you want. But yeah, get that sent in to bitharmonypod@gmail.com. And then Seth, I will let you handle the Patreon and all in Discord shout out stuff.
Yeah, come on into the Discord. There's links to that in the show notes too. We'd love to have you. Free, friendly, welcoming community over there with the all-in folks. And that's where we have a Bit Harmony channel in there specific to the show, where you can kind of sound off on show topics, talk about the episodes, and whatever you want to do. We'd love to have you there. And we of course are supported on Patreon, where you can get early access to the show at any tier, even just the $1 tier. You get this show early. There's a lot of other exclusive perks, and you can get a 7-day free trial to the Patreon, and you can join the ranks of the fine folks who support us over there. Bit Harmony is made possible by viewers like you. Mm-hmm. Thank you. So let's shout those folks out, starting with our Golden Banana tier. Thank you to Rob Yapel, Sean, Shano, Baggins, Ashton, Tim A, a.k.a. NeoPrime33, a.k.a. Nintendo Dad number 4, Phelan Ward, Bill Tucker, Marcus O'Neill, Liam D, Gamer Jason, Andrew Wilkins, Alan #Look to the Cookie, Solo, SAZ, and blah blah blah. Thank you to our Golden Banana Bunch, and thank you to our Triforce tier: Josh Vaughn, John Cummins, Sparky, Adam Caparello, Shy Guy, Danny Linahosa, Dan and Luma, Bowza, the Don Rob, Foolish Fuji, and of course Uncle Randy. Big thanks to all y'all who support us on Patreon. That is again patreon.com/allinpodcast, and there are links to that in the show notes as well.
Yep. thank you all, everyone. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for listening. And we will see you next time for that, again, early 2000s, early turn of the millennium episode in a couple of weeks. But taking you out this week is Glacial Pace. So again, thank you so much, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.